everyone. Welcome to Build with Shreya, the podcast where ideas and stories inspire you to build something extraordinary. I recently had a conversation with Manpreet Singh Ahuja, who has been the Chief Digital Officer and now the Chief Clients and Alliances Officer at PwC and has been at the forefront of consulting, risk management, and tech driven transformation for organizations over 2 decades. Our conversation was rich with insights on AI adoption, digital disruption, risk, talent, and the evolving role of consultants in the world shaped by data and emerging technologies. So, in this episode review, we are going to unpack the key themes that we explored during our conversation, supported by industry trends, real world examples, and the latest developments in digital disruption and AI transformation. So, let's get on to it. So, the first thing that we touched upon was his journey from risk consulting to leading alliances. And as I listened to Manpreet recounting his journey from navigating the intricacies of risk to leading digital alliances at PwC India, it struck me that consulting was no longer just about managing the uncertainty. It was actually about architecting what's next. Risk management has evolved from being more of a reactive to a proactive function and an integral part of the business strategies. As highlighted by Manpreet, if you are reactive, you're not relevant anymore. And that aligns with PwC's 2024 Global Risk Survey, which highlights that 73% of CEOs recognize risk management as one of the central elements in their growth strategies. So, the integration of AI into business operations is a testament to this shift. Companies are now leveraging machine learning for real time fraud detection, blockchain for data integrity, as well as predictive analytics to foresee potential vulnerabilities. For example, in the construction sector, firms like Shawmut Design and Construction integrate and utilize AI for monitoring job site safety. By analyzing weather conditions as well as personnel changes, they forecast potential incidents. Another example is Triax Technologies Spot R system, a wearable device that can help track worker location and activities on construction sites. So the system can detect trip, slip, and fall events and also allows workers to report unsafe conditions instantly. The supervisors can get real-time alerts as well as prompt notifications that can help them take actions to potential hazards on site. In India, the AI adoption is accelerating. In a recent report by Team Lease Digital, AI adoption in key Indian sectors is at about 48% in the financial year 2024, with the banking and financial services sector leading at about 68%. Now, this surge is attributed to the increasing cloud transformation in the different sectors, with 9 on 10 businesses affirming its role in enabling the AI adoption. However, the journey is not without its challenges. According to Boston Consulting Group's report, while many companies have initiated AI programs, only 26% move beyond the pilot phases, realizing tangible value. And the primary hurdles lie not on the technological side, but more on the people and processes side, emphasizing the importance of change management as well as talent development. So Manpreet's leadership philosophy resonates with this insight. He says that technology is just 20% of the transformation and rest is just mindset and collaboration. So the next thing we touched upon was AI in action, not just being tools, but more of an enabler. And so when Manpreet spoke about the boldness of attack strategies in tech, I realized that innovation isn't just about tools, it's about the intent. So it's a mindset shift from playing safe to reimagining what's possible, even without knowing the outcomes or having them fully defined yet. In global industry forums like Mobile World Congress and Phoenix CXO Summit, he highlighted that organizations have a contrast in how they're approaching AI. While some organizations are defensively optimizing their workflows and modernizing their legacy systems, others are launching bold, offense-driven transformations that completely redefine their business models. So this mindset shift is visible across industries. For example, Siemens is bringing LLMs to the shop floor by integrating edge computing with digital twins. It's simulating as well as optimizing the operations in real time. Unilever is also using similar capabilities across its global factories and synchronizing it with its supply chain and driving sustainability at scale. In retail, Walmart is leveraging AI to convert social media trends into products within weeks, collapsing the traditional product development cycles. Now, these aren't incremental improvements. These are the very building blocks of an entirely new value chain formed by the convergence of Gen AI, edge computing, and soon private 5G networks. So these aren't isolated moves. They signal a broader industry trend. According to IDC, by 2026, over 40% of enterprises globally are going to reconfigure their core operations around Gen AI, introducing products and services that didn't previously exist. For example, that 1.25 billion India AI mission aims to democratize the access to data and compute in sectors like healthcare, fintech, as well as public governance. But with every wave of technological disruption comes a parallel wave of uncertainty, specifically around job skills as well as economic stability. As AI accelerates automation across different sectors, the concerns around workforce displacement become apparent. According to PwC's global analysis, by 2030, AI has the potential to contribute over $15.7 trillion to the world economy, driven largely by productivity gains as well as increase in consumer demand. In India's context, this transformation could mean what we saw with platforms like Swiggy and Zomato, where technology just didn't optimize delivery logistics. It created an entirely new gig economy that absorbed millions of workers. AI is expected to bring in similar ecosystems, from data labeling to prompt engineering to AI ethics as well as governance consulting. Some jobs will change in the short term, and that is a given. But in the long term, it is all about how we can help people rethink on learning new skills and how work looks like in the future. So, what does this mean for future skills? There is pressure to innovate, adapt, and pivot. So, leaders must build teams that think differently, fail fast, recover fast, and AI is not a tool anymore. It is changing how businesses are thinking about value. So, the next thing we talked about was ROI and budgeting for AI based solutions for different companies and industries. The biggest leap for industries in the AI era wouldn't be just around building models, it'll be building conviction. And conviction doesn't wait for perfect clarity, it moves with informed intent. As AI becomes central to business strategies, leaders face a tough but necessary question. What is the real return on these massive investments in technology? With the cost of computing power skyrocketing and NVIDIA's H100 chip selling upwards of $40,000, OpenAI's infrastructure cost estimated at millions per month, the pressure to show ROI or AI initiatives has never been higher. However, this ROI isn't always immediate or tangible. It requires a longer term lens that can balance risk with vision. Many organizations fall into the trap of short termism, expecting game changing outcomes on AI investments in a few months. However, true transformation takes time. The real returns on AI unfold over years rather than quarters. While debates continue around the near term impact of AI, there is a growing consensus across boardrooms that AI's 5-year potential is undeniable. Take Accenture's $3 billion commitment to AI and data strategy in 2023 that initially raised eyebrows but is now paying off. The company has since launched hundreds of Gen AI based projects, scaled AI literacy to over 80,000 employees, and integrated AI powered tools across finance, healthcare, and retail clients. Similarly, Walmart is investing heavily in AI to drive its supply chain automation as well as personalized shopping experiences. Through intelligent demand forecasting as well as real time inventory tracking, it is reducing waste and improving its margins, a value that compounds over time and not surely delivering results overnight. So now, industry trends are also moving towards this shift. According to IDC's March 2025 report, over 72% of enterprises have already moved from experimental AI pilots to full scale implementations. But what separates the leaders is their budgeting strategy. Businesses pursuing defense strategies might be focused on cost optimization, efficiency, automation, might calculate ROI based on the time saved or resources optimized. For example, using Gen AI to summarize reports or automate customer support might show ROI in a matter of few months. On the flip side, attack strategies that seek new revenue streams or business models might be bolder bets. The companies might require a longer timeline and also a stomach for ambiguity. In this context, budgeting for AI becomes less about specific line items, but more about aligning with the long term strategic goals. The first step is ensuring the leadership is clear about expectations for AI in the next 1 to 3 years. If the organization is focused on operational efficiency, it is advisable to allocate more conservative budgets and have a return expectation of 12 to 18 months. However, for companies that are aiming to drive market disruption or innovation, a more aggressive investment strategy is necessary, typically allocating about 2 to 3% of their total budgets to AI initiatives or preparing for initial uncertainties. This approach aligned with the findings of a January 2025 McKinsey study that stated companies investing in AI to drive new product development or business model shift shift derived a 30 to 50% higher long-term return as compared to companies that were using AI to strictly cost optimize. The convergence of AI and 5G isn't just an infrastructural revolution, it is a catalyst for industry-wide transformation. With 5G's low latency, high bandwidth, AI systems can now operate real time in decentralized networks for smarter workflows as well as more responsive services. According to Ericsson's March 2025 mobility report, 5G subscriptions have crossed 1.6 billion globally, and by 2027, more than 60% of enterprise AI applications are expected to run on 5G enabled infrastructure. So, the next thing we talked about was digital transformation at scale, which is the AI and 5G play. So, one thing that I learned from a conversation was the future doesn't just ease in quietly, and especially when it involves technologies like AI and 5G. It hits us all at once like a powerful wave. And currently, we can see that wave already reshaping the world around us. In India, the transformation is particularly pronounced. With initiatives like BharatNet and ONDC, the digital infrastructure is accelerating, and the country is primed to leapfrog the legacy systems around us. Telecom giants like Jio and Airtel are already piloting 5G enabled smart factories in industries like automotive and textiles. In healthcare, Geo Health Hubs Diagnostics and Apollo's connected ambulances are leveraging 5G and AI to deliver life saving interventions in near real time, bridging the gap between urban care and rural access. Globally, enterprises are reimagining their operations. AT&T and Ericsson are embedding AI into 5G networks to enable predictive maintenance as well as automated network management. BMW and Audi are leveraging AI and 5G to enhance their autonomous driving systems and real time production analytics. Even sectors like energy and agriculture are leveraging AI by deploying their models over 5G networks for smarter irrigation, crop monitoring, and decentralized energy management. All of these examples underscore a fundamental shift. For non tech founders and smaller enterprises, the lack of legacy systems is an advantage. And with no code AI platforms and 5G connectivity becoming more accessible, entrepreneurs can now build AI first ventures like personalized learning apps or intelligent supply chain management platforms without deep technical knowledge. So, the next thing we talked about was the role of consultants in the AI era. It hit me mid conversation that AI isn't replacing consultants, it's rewriting their job description. Consulting is no longer about just giving advice. The role of consulting is undergoing a seismic shift. Traditional models anchored in static presentations are being outspaced by AI tools capable of generating insights, summarizing complex reports, and building forecasts in seconds. Firms across the globe are responding. McKinsey's Quantum Black AI Transformation Unit blends data scientists with UX designers with domain consultants into agile pods for rapid experimentation. BCGX, which is Boston Consulting Group's design and build unit, is working with clients to build AI native operations from predictive retail analytics to climate impact modeling. At PwC, the Responsible AI Toolkit is helping enterprises navigate through governance, explainability, algorithmic fairness that becomes crucial as scrutiny takes over AI decision making process. Deloitte's Cortex AI platform is helping clients build proprietary models that can get directly embedded into their workflows. For example, AI for tax audit or ESG risk assessments. Consulting is also shifting from a deliverable based engagement to more of a product mindset where success is dependent on the outcomes rather than just PowerPoints. Accenture, for example, has co-built AI solutions for global banks that can streamline their KYC, which is know your customer processes, as well as fraud detection using both private LLMs as well as human oversight. Similarly, Bain & Company's partnership with OpenAI aims to help clients build solutions for customer-facing functions like personalized marketing or virtual product design. In all of this, the emphasis is not on plug-and-play tools, but custom systems that are aligned with the company's data and DNA. In sectors like healthcare and insurance, where regulatory concerns are large, companies like KPMG and EY are not just advising on innovation, but also on AI trust frameworks. As consulting landscape evolves, the next generation of leaders will not just be defined by how well they can use AI, but also by how responsibly and creatively they can help others adopt it. So, the next thing we talked about were the failures in AI and what they could teach us. So, in the rush to innovate, we somehow sometimes overlook the lessons that failures teaches us. And in the world of AI, these lessons can shape billion-dollar decisions. We most often celebrate the breakthroughs like chatbots for customer support, or machine learning models that are anticipating churn, or computer vision models that are catching defects in milliseconds. But below those headlines, there are expensive failures. And most often, it's not the AI model that's broken, it's the data it's built on. According to IDC's March 2025 Global AI Implementation Trends report, 52% of failed AI projects cited data quality and integration issues as a primary reason for failure. Now, these issues range from like outdated data to lack of standardization across departments to incomplete data pipelines or even like misaligned data governance policies. The study also emphasized that while organizations invest in building AI capabilities, they do not tend to prioritize the data plumbing that is needed to support them. Now, without clean, well labeled, contextualized data, even the best of the AI models can become brittle and unpredictable in the real world applications. According to a Gartner forecast, over 30% of Gen AI projects will be abandoned by 2025 due to poor data quality, inadequate business controls, escalating cost, or unclear business value. Now, another critical challenge is the reliance on generic data for training the AI models. Chatbots that are trained on a broader data set may perform well in controlled conditions, but may fail to deliver meaningful interactions in a real world scenario. Without incorporating brand specific tone, or specific customer behavior patterns, or domain specific language, these models are at a risk of being ineffective. Now, synthetic data is a solution to this. This can be trained on predefined rules or domain specific knowledge, can bridge this gap by mimicking the real world data structures as well as behaviors. However, developing such contextualized AI systems might require the organizations to invest heavily on data governance, metadata management, labeling, as well as responsible access protocols. Now, organizations that are approaching AI implementation without addressing these fundamental elements might find their projects stalling or failing to scale. So, the next thing we talked about was building India's AI future: local models, local data. What if India's biggest contribution wasn't just catching up, but showing a better way forward? And that's what building our own native LLM could unlock. When we talk about the future of AI in India, it is important to look beyond the big cities and the English speaking users. The real opportunity lies in building AI that works in local languages, understands how people speak across different parts of the country, and one that can address real world challenges, specifically in the rural areas. Projects like AI for Bharat and Sarvam AI are already building local language models on languages like Hindi, Tamil, and Telugu. Government is also planning to bring AI tools to more than 20 lakh gram panchayats, and this seems like a real step towards a more inclusive tech. We are also seeing ideas like model AI cities take shape, where AI can make public services better and more accessible. Think voice-based healthcare system for elderly, or adjusted transport system just based on how people are moving around. Cities like Pune and Surat are already experimenting with smart governance tools that are pointing in this direction. And with India announcing its plans to develop its own LLMs and receiving over 160 proposals, there is serious momentum. If done right, this could be a turning point where AI is not something just for a few people, but for everyone. So now we have come to the end of a review video for Manpreet's podcast from PwC, and few key takeaways I would like to leave you with. So, if you're a company, you need to think about how you budget for AI, and that totally depends on whether you're following a defense strategy or an attack strategy. The second thing is, if you're from an industry, you need to rethink on how you see ROI for AI based solutions, and it needs to be different from how you see it for a regular software product. The third thing is, if you're creating AI based solutions or AI models, you need to train them on domain specific data, whether we're talking about a department, a company, or even a country. And the last point is around AI and 5G play. It is super important to create applications that are 5G compatible to make sure that the solutions are scalable. One of the thoughts that stuck with me while having the conversation with Manpreet was fail fast, fail cheap. And I hope you're already able to do that by the next time we meet for the podcast. And I hope we create new things, innovate in this new world of AI every single day, every single second. Bye bye. Take care.